Are we checked?
We are checked.
Check.
Let me just make sure.
Yeah. we're like, yeah, we're totally checked. Meanwhile, we're having.
You hear, and Pat goes, all right, we fucked it. You guys fucked it up. Can't hear shit.
Pretty much. So there's no haunted tripods around?
No, the haunted tripod is in the gym.
Oh, good. That's just what you need.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, just a terrible omen.
That's
we love that.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours.
Papa. It pours.
It pours.
It pours. Yeah, because I still have it set. This is the mic that I normally use for Geeks That Lift, and that's the mic that Mark usually uses.
Oh.
So it works out. And I'm guessing that the audio's been good, right, Pat?
Yeah, Pat.
I
miss Pat.
You miss Pat?
I do.
I mean, we can have Pat back if we do video again. I'm just saying.
I'll consider it. I will consider.
Oh shit! You know what? I'll take that because before it was just a stern.
It was
no.
a hard no.
It was a hard fuck you guys. I'm not going on video.
Oh my god.
That's cool. Hey guys, what's up? Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you jubilant?
We're so happy.
Did you hear that voice?
And it's not like a phone, like shitty recorded grainy voice.
Right.
It's actually, I have a microphone in front of me. I'm in the motherfucking studio.
Yeah. Horror Delilah's back and we're back. Terror 51, guys. Terror 51. I don't know what episode this is. I think this is episode 65.
No.
I think it's episode 65.
Our episode can officially get the senior menu at Denny.
Yeah.
Boom.
Early bird special. Get the $3 ticket at the Regal Cinemas.
Ooh. Is that a real thing?
I know they get cheaper than maybe it's $5.
I was going to say $3. Shit, I will hold myself up for that one.
I'm not that far away, so that's only a few years away
You're
from me.
far enough away.
I don't know. But guys, we're back. Sorry it's been so long. It's been a tough month.
I apologize for nothing.
No. Oh, you apologize for nothing?
I apologize
All right.
for nothing.
I thought you were about to say you apologize. Like, you don't need to apologize.
No.
But then again, you're not apologizing
No.
anyways. But we've been gone for a month. For the most part, we did it just to see if you guys would miss us and see if you guys were clamoring for more episodes and see if you guys can live without us. And it turns out you can't.
I'm actually kind of shocked that people were like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, you don't care.
Yeah. It's weird. Like going on the social media accounts and seeing our hardcore fans who have stuck by us. Thank you.
Yeah.
And have also actually suggested us to other people.
Yeah.
Like I had other people on social media and just that have just come and started listening to old episodes.
Yeah.
And we had a guy who actually listened all of our episodes in a matter of a week.
How high
must
you
That's
be?
I
could not listen to myself for that long.
I couldn't listen. I couldn't listen to myself. I mean,
yes, you can.
Yeah. Maybe. No, not for a week straight.
No, not for a week.
Not for a week straight.
You could do a few hours. Me 3 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, my ears are bleeding.
But it's weird. Like every time I listen, I hear my voice, and it's funny because I got the other podcast, Geeks That Lift, cheap plug, and it's weird because I listen to that podcast and I watch it on YouTube on the Beefmaster network. Name will change soon, and it's weird because my voice sounds different there than it does on here.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
You're giving us a different energy.
Maybe.
I think that's it.
Maybe.
I
don't know because if I'm Coco Nut over there and I'm just plain old Eugene here or what?
So you're two different people.
I am.
Oh shit.
I know.
This is some split shit. Which one of you is Patricia?
It was Patricia. I was about to say that. All right, guys. So now that we're back, we're going to try to make this. Now that they loosened restrictions a little more, Horror Delilah's back in studio. So for now, maybe we might not be doing video anymore. Maybe we might go on video. And if we do go on video, you'll probably see Horror Delilah on video this time. Just her face. You'll see her mouth moving instead of just her picture. Wait a minute. Was your picture even on there when we were on YouTube, or it was just Pat?
You guys are the ones that made it. I have no idea.
You haven't even watched it.
No, I don't. I don't listen or watch it.
You're not one of the 9 or 10 people that watched it on YouTube.
I very much refuse to listen to or watch anything I'm involved in.
I get it. Hey, you know what? I just found out the other day. I'm a big fan of Ridiculousness on MTV.
Yeah.
And I just read an article, Rob Deerdeck, he's never watched one episode. Like they're on like episode 400 or 500 by now.
Word.
And he's never watched one episode. He does a show. He goes home. That's it.
Honestly,
he's never watched it.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I've never listened to an entire episode of our podcast.
Not an entire episode, but you've listened here and there.
I've listened to certain
maybe the
parts.
ones that you weren't on.
Definitely parts that you guys were like, oh my God, this part was so good though. Listen. I'm like, oh, okay, listen. And then I like
Is that what it sounded like?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think that's it though. Like I've never even usually it's the opener. I will listen to see what Pat decided people should hear.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
God, I can't wait to hear this one.
I can't wait to hear about the pocket pussy.
Yeah, but like that's kind of it. I mean, yeah.
All right. So guys, we're going to try to do this every week. We're going to go back into our groove. We're going to be doing it's myself and Horror Delilah that'll be here every week. And then once restrictions gets a little more loose, then we'll start having guests back on, all different types of guests. I mean, some guests will never come back, but we'll see.
I'm sure we could list a few.
We can list a few. And we'll have some new people on. So it's going to be fun. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
look at old school radio-y.
Yeah.
You know, you got your radio sitting on the dinner table after
your TV
done.
dinner with your hungry
listen
man.
To your stories.
Yeah, listen to your stories.
It's us telling us stories. We're telling you stories.
I ended up saying that very line this weekend.
I was doing that like an old person. That means you are an old person.
It was funny because I was sitting there. I was sitting on the couch. I went to South Carolina this past week to visit my best friend and the family, and we were hanging out. And he's got two beautiful boys, Maddox and Lincoln. And so I'm
Maddox.
playing with. That's a great
Maddox
name. Actually, both of those names.
Lincoln.
They're like manly fucking names.
They are. Well, actually, real quick, my second shift girl, she just named her. She's like this tiny little white girl from Erie.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend is like, her husband is like this very white boy, also from Erie. And they named their child's name is Lincoln Brown. I'm like, that sounds like a little like Black Baptist, like, doesn't it sound?
Pastor Lincoln Brown.
Yeah, Lincoln Brown. Just like this little fat white.
Yeah,
like,
I can see it.
Continue though. You were with Lincoln and Maddox.
So I was with Lincoln and Maddox. I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I'm a big fan of MTV's The Challenge. So I was watching that on their huge TV in their living room. And I'm laying on the couch, and all of a sudden the kids are, bugging me because they want to play. They want to fight me because they're like their dad. And they like to fight all the time. Yeah. And I'm a big jungle gym. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the challenge. And all of a sudden I forgot what happened. I don't know if Kristen, Randy's wife, or Randy said something or they were like, oh, the kids want to play or whatever. And here's me. Not now. I'm watching my program. I'll do whatever you want after my program.
After my program. Oh my.
And even when I said it, I was like, I sound like such an old, curmudgeonly old man right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. In a couple of years, $3 at the Regal.
you got time. Don't get too excited.
All right, guys. So we're going to be talking some news because now with everything getting loosened up, we're starting to get some, a nice flow of news. And then today's subject, we're going to be talking about, I can't say this word without stuttering, apocalyptic horror.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So, but also, since it's been a while since Horror Delilah and myself have been in studio, we were talking about this earlier before we started. It's been over 6 months, right?
It has been.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was December. Yeah, we said December 3rd, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It was the last time we were in the studio.
That was. Yeah. So over 6 months.
Been a crazy fucking 6 months.
It's been a crazy
since then.
6 months.
Our lives have both changed drastically.
Oh my God, they've changed so drastically. And if you guys want to know about it, just check us out on social media.
Yeah.
That's it, because we're not going to get into it here.
Nope.
All right, so we're going to start off with the news. I think what we're going to do, since I got all the news this time, I think we're going to bring back probably next episode, Drew's news.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But today is going to be me because I don't think she can read my handwriting anyways. I write like a 4-year-old.
I can read doctor's handwriting, so
can you?
I'm pretty impressive, yeah.
All right. So
I'll let you have it.
Did you see the news or the stuff that was going on about Stephen King?
Mm-hmm.
So Stephen King tweeted about a book idea for Jason Voorhees.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I actually wrote it down here. It says, he tweeted out, the best novel idea I never wrote, and he put in parentheses, and I want to stress, he put this in parentheses, I probably never will, is I, Jason, the first person narrative of Jason Voorhees and his hellish fate. Killed over and over again at Camp Crystal Lake. What a hellish existential fate. Wow, I did that pretty good.
You did. I don't know if I love this.
Really?
I don't know. I'm very Stephen King. He just obviously mad respect, love the shit out of him. But there's sometimes he just misses the mark. Yeah. And I don't, the part of the slasher thing and the thing about Jason, it's like he does, there's no he's very, it's singular. It's one track. This is what he does. Yeah. I don't need to know the inner workings of Jason Voorhees. It kills it for me. He's not a guy. He's this thing. He's just a reckoning force that takes sitting teenagers and punishes them.
He's an undead killing machine with mommy issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see it. I see it from your way. It would be like somebody doing a first person narrative of Michael Myers or something.
Exactly.
I get it. But I don't know. It's still, it's a cool
intriguing
idea, though.
Don't get me wrong. I'd read it. I'm saying I don't need it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's just
he's not going to write it anyway.
Exactly.
With all the litigation and all the lawsuits going on with all the rights for Friday the 13th. Because he even said it. He had to send out another tweet because once he tweeted this out, all the clickbait articles came out. Stephen King's going to write a Jason Voorhees novel. Blah, 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 blah. So, and obviously he said he's never going to write it. He's probably never going to write it. And then he had to go back and he said something I'm paraphrasing now, but something along the lines of I'm not writing this. He goes, if I ever wanted to write it, it's so confusing on who owns the rights that it would be hell to try to figure that out. Yeah. So it's not going to happen. Although it is an intriguing idea. I always wonder though, after reading that, is what kind of voice would Jason, how would he talk?
The first thing I pictured was a Robot Chicken episode where it's just he's normal. He's just living his life. And all of a sudden, his head perks up because you hear teenagers in the background. He's and then he looks at the calendar real quick and it's Friday the 13th. And he's fuck yeah. And then he's out just killing teenagers. But it's they're all scared and everything. And just it's just all pandemonium. And he's trying to look all cool. But then he's in the background, trying to catch his breath behind a tree or just man, I really skipped out on cardio. It's just something like that. It's just so I can't not picture the comedy side of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again,
that's funny that you said Robot Chicken because now that's all I pictured.
It's literally the first thing, even just the Jason Voorhees mask, the outfit, but with a pink apron on and a little chef's hat, just baking cookies.
Yeah.
And then he hears the noise, just looks over. Friday the 13th, and he's yeah, that's it. He just throws everything in the air, grabs his
goes out, grabs his machete and runs out the house.
Dude.
He wakes up Saturday the 14th. Oh.
We just wrote it.
Yeah.
We just wrote a movie.
You're right. You're welcome, Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King. Make that movie happen.
That's awesome. It just sucks though that with all this bullshit going on with the rights and all that stuff that we're not going to get on Friday the 13th anytime soon.
I know. It's so stupid.
I mean, they were trying to fast track that one movie. And I think we talked about it previous, way back, I think last year at some point, how it was a good thing that plans for the latest movie fell through because they were doing wasn't a found footage or
it was something
along those lines.
It was something really bad. I don't know. I don't think it was found footage. There was something else to it that we were just huh.
Yeah.
I can't remember what, because there was that Never Sleep Again on YouTube, which was the fan made one, and that one was tits. That movie.
Never Sleep Again?
Or no, sorry, I'm thinking of the Never Hike Alone.
Yeah, Never Hike Alone. Yes.
That's or Don't Hike.
That was good. Or was it Don't Hike Alone? It was the one that was made with the barn and all that, and the fucking the extreme guy.
Yeah, I think it's Never Hike Alone. Yeah, but now I'm questioning it.
I know.
Fuck. But
well, while you're talking, I'm gonna look it up.
While you're Pat.
Pat.
No, but it's that one. And that was the thing. It's just like, dude, bring on the fan films then. Like, these people are fucking rocking it. The people who like, the fans that are just like, you know, I'm just going to do it myself. But it sucks because they can't monetize. So, like, you're giving us this fantastic movie and you're not getting
a super low budget, too.
Oh, it was next to nothing. Like, and it was honestly a good, like a straight up good movie.
Yep.
And it's so annoying that, so I mean, it sucks that we're dealing with all the Friday the 13th bullshit and them going.
Well, they ruined the game. So they were coming up with all these DLC and all these new things, all these new skins for the game, and they had to fucking drop everything because of this lawsuit.
It's like,
it's fucked up.
I know. Just give us what we want. You're gonna get our money. Whoever deals with it, just, you guys figure it out.
There's gonna be so much money they can just split it.
Drop. It will not flop.
It's not.
You have Friday. It's fucking Jason Voorhees. It will not flop.
Yep. And it's never hike alone.
Yeah, never hike alone.
Okay. Yep, you're right.
Good. I question myself.
Now, speaking into rights, it's funny how this thing just fucking segued into it. So, Clive Barker's rights to Hellraiser may revert back to him in 2021.
I saw that.
That's awesome. Now they
can stop making shitty movies that they throw a pinhead in. It's like ridiculous.
It's a Hellraiser movie. Like, two cops, investigating a serial killer, and at the very end, Pinhead shows up.
And then and
it's normally a fat Pinhead.
Such sights to show you.
So there was changes made, like we were just talking about a copyright law that was in 1976. I didn't know that's when it happened. That state that the rights to creators' works can revert back to them after 35 years.
Yeah.
So that's been happening like a lot, like the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street just went back to Wes Craven's estate. Yeah. So they've been actually for the last since the beginning of the year or late last year, Wes Craven's estate has, say that 3 times fast, has been they've been shopping around for a new Nightmare on Elm Street film and possibly a series. So they've been like going out, just telling creators and writers and shit, start submitting your shit because they're looking to reboot it.
That's kind of another thing that excites me right now, because obviously not horror related, but it's like a similar thing with the Mando, is they're letting the Mandalorian, they're letting people, they're actually shopping around for people who give a shit.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you've seen like the documentary about the Mandalorian, but I've watched
a couple of them. Yeah.
It's amazing the way that they like vetted these people and found people who were like, and
they give a shit.
And that's it. They're like, they're taking fans. Like you're taking this person who's a huge fan, so they're going to love it. It's not some asshole who's like, I can write a horror movie. Yeah. It's like, it's not, it's something. I think it's fantastic the way everything's going right now. Like, and it makes me excited and I get a lot of people are like, oh, rehashing old ideas with everything like that. And yeah, I get that. It sucks, but it's really hard to come by a good original. And even when you do, people are going to shit on it.
Yeah.
So like,
you can't please everybody.
No, absolutely not. And so like you're taking, and granted, I used to be one of those people that's like, don't touch what I love. Yada, yada,
you're shitting on my childhood.
Yeah, pretty much like, oh, you're killing my childhood. Like, no, I'm still going to love the fucking original. So like, and I actually, Evil Dead is the thing that really brought me out of that. Cause I'm like, I have no right to talk after that one.
We've talked that movie to death.
Oh yeah. But like, I totally ate my words with that one. But like with now it's like, who cares if it's something that's already been done? They can still take the story and go 100,000 ways, and you can still scare people 100,000 ways with it. Like,
and no matter what, whether it's a shitty, and that's funny too, because I've kind of changed my stance a little bit on reboots and remakes, because no matter what, whether the remake or the reboot comes out and it's a total piece of shit, it's not going to ruin the original.
Exactly.
You still have the original. So, so after 35 years, it reverts back. Now, he put out an injunction recently, a few days back, to stop any production or any works Hellraiser related.
Oh, thank you, Clive.
I know.
Oh, thank you so much.
But the loophole in this is that the copyright law, it's only going to give him the rights to the novel Hellbound Heart.
Oh.
So anything past Hellraiser
is fair game.
It's fair game.
Okay.
So So he's got, I mean, still though, Hellbound Heart is the original Hellraiser movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, he still has all that and to play with and to come up with new shit. But this wouldn't take place until December 19th, 2021. So anybody that has anything fast tracked or on it, you better get it out now because December 19th, 2021, no more Hellraiser for you. But what I was wondering, and I wrote it down on here, what's this going to mean for the HBO Hellraiser series? That what is it, David Gordon Green and Michael Dougherty are involved in.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that one.
Which I was, when I read that, I was like, I was super stoked about it. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they'll work something out, and Clive will be like, "Yeah, go ahead."
If it's HBO, like we're not talking stars here, like,
and it better be for HBO Max. Have you seen the HBO Max app yet?
I haven't gotten it myself, but I've seen it.
So
yeah,
good. So
got
good.
some good stuff on there.
It has all the Harry Potter movies.
I know. Well, I already own like 3 copies of each one.
Oh, wow! You are quite the fan.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
like to collect the fun cases.
Oh yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Listen, I'm all about physical media. We were just talking about it. I was watching. Have you kept up on Joe Bob Briggs last drive-in?
I haven't I haven't seen the most recent.
Oh, you haven't seen the most recent one? Well, the most recent one they show. The first movie is Hellraiser 2.
Yeah,
Hellbound Hellraiser 2. And you know how he normally goes on his rants before the movie?
Yep.
He went on a rant on physical media versus streaming and cloud shit. And he makes a good, I mean, he makes a really good case for it.
I'm all about physical media.
Yes.
Like I mean, I'm not like PV posting my, like I don't have my VHSs, but like oh my God, first off, I've mentioned it before. I'm a big drunk Amazoner. So I like to find horror movies that I haven't thought of in a good 2 decades and order them on Amazon for about $3. And
there you go.
Surprise myself with them when they come in the mail 2 days
later. Did you forget about it?
Pretty much,
you were in a drunken stupor?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. But like, I also am I've always like, I prefer to buy like new movies and stuff like that because in case the internet ever, anything ever happens.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, be charging you guys to rent movies.
Yeah, all the shit goes out in the cloud and but who's to say like if a war breaks out or you get some fucking crazy fucking hacker or something and the servers just go down, that's it. You lose everything.
And then, I mean, crazy. This country is insane right now. In case anybody does decide to take over and control what you can and cannot see, you're depending on that. Not to sound like, obviously, I'm not like crazy conspiracy theorist, like everything, but there's a chance. But still,
like, and that's what I kept saying because people keep making fun of me because I keep buying DVDs. And I keep going to Best Buy and looking for the special editions and the tins and all that other shit. And people were like, "Oh, really? Oh, really?" And I'm like, yeah. One day you'll learn. Watch when you got your whole library of movies and they're all gone in a flash. You'll be like, "Hey, can I borrow your copy of 300?" And I'm like, "No,
absolutely not, because this is my only copy."
Yeah. And it's funny because I guess Samsung just and this is what Joe Bob Briggs was talking about. Samsung just announced that they're done making Blu-rays.
Are they?
1080p and 4K Blu-rays, they're done. They're not going to be making and manufacturing any more Blu-rays anymore. I mean, still Paramount and other companies are still going to be making them. And Samsung was one of their like biggest competitors, but that's crazy.
Blu-ray never really took off the way, like it was kind of like you have to get a Blu-ray. It was never like this crazy big, like, oh my God, I have to get it on Blu-ray. Whereas like when everything went from VHS to DVD, you had to get the DVD because it was a complete, but like for Blu-ray, they were actually more obnoxious because you needed a whole other player.
A whole new player and everything.
Yeah. Like you could play the DVDs, but you can't play the Blu-rays without.
Yeah. And then I remember
I never got into Blu-ray.
And then you had to get a special fucking Blu-ray player. And then some of them weren't even backwards compatible where you couldn't play regular DVDs on it. So you had to have 2 different fucking DVD players. Yeah. Like, it was a little bit of a fucking pain in the ass, but still though.
I know.
I love my DVDs.
I know. Me too. I'm all about DVDs. It.
Now you watched the Creep Show, right?
Of course.
Okay. And season 2 is already almost done. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Shudder ordered a full set of scripts for season 3?
No, that's so exciting.
I'm super excited about that. Yes.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I love my Creep Show.
Oh my God, so good.
And the first, the first, I think we talked about it. The first season, there were some episodes, one episode or 2 that we were like, and then others were ridiculously awesome.
Oh my God, the DJ Qualls one with Bob.
That was a good one.
favorite?
Honestly, one of my favorites is still the first episode
Dollhouse?
with the dollhouse.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's it. I don't know. It just surprised me. And they had the chick from, the little girl, Judith from Walking Dead in it. Yeah. And it was funny because it was like subtle and but it wasn't really too scary.
So good.
I liked it.
It was a great way to introduce us to the series.
And I don't know if you noticed that AMC showed the whole first season.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they must be doing really well because, they got season 2, I think is in the can already. And we're just waiting to see when I think Greg Nicotero said that they're trying to put together the trailer for season 2. So that way we can see when it's going to drop. But now they're going to have a 3rd season, which I am super excited. Fucking Shudder, man. Shudder's killing it.
Love them.
Killing it.
Shudder.
Now, Shudder.
Sure.
Shudder. Shudder. So last piece of news I got. Did you see the trailer for Saint Maud?
Yes, I did.
That fucking creepy fucking from A24 Studios. So it was supposed to come out, I think, April or May, but obviously it didn't because of COVID. But it just came out. The Saint Maud is going to be released in theaters on July 17th nationwide.
Ooh.
Yes.
Released in theaters?
Yeah.
What if they're not open?
Then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about you.
I don't want to pay $20 to stream a movie.
I know. Oh, you're in that camp.
I'm not.
Are you one of those people?
I'm not against it. I understand why. I just personally won't do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay. I mean, I get it. It's still cheaper than like a night at the movies, but it's also like if I'm paying $20 to watch a movie, I don't know. I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. I just personally can't justify my own spending. I'm not against them charging that. I get that. Like, again, I understand why. Because now that it's like, so you watch it with 2 people, that's your 2 tickets, less than 2 tickets right there, because tickets are what, $12,
They're
$13?
like $13, yeah.
So you're already saving money just on those 2 people. You're not getting all the exactly. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against it by any means. I just personally won't.
And you have 48 hours to watch it over and over again if you watch it. Well, that's good. At least you're not proclaiming that the VOD $20 can munch your ass or something along those lines. But
the salt.
The salt. So salty.
I need something sweet to cut the salt.
So it's coming out nationwide July 17th. We'll see if it comes out. Like I saw the trailer and we talked about it before, and it was like super creepy and I wanted to check it out. And A24 has been killing it.
Yeah, they do.
With Hereditary, Midsummer. I don't know if you saw. Did you see Uncut Gems?
No, I haven't watched that one.
Good movie. That's a good movie.
I've heard a lot of people saying good things about it.
I liked it a lot. I saw it 3 times. It was weird. It's on Netflix now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Speaking my language. Love that.
Well, yeah. Netflix for free or whatever you pay.
Yeah, you pay monthly.
But for those that don't know, I got a little synopsis. Maud, a newly devout hospice nurse, becomes obsessed with saving her dying patient's soul. But sinister forces and her own sinful past threaten to put an end to her holy calling. Whatever the fuck that means.
That'll be.
But it looks creepy. Like the one scene that got me was because at first when I first saw it, I was like, all right, is this a horror movie? Is this not a horror movie? What is this? This is an artsy movie. But the one scene where she puts like thumbtacks or nails in the soles of her shoes pointing up, and then she puts her feet in the shoes, and then she starts walking around like I don't know, like serving penance or something. It was kind of fucked up, and you could just hear like the crunching in her shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. That's supposed to come out July 17th. Fingers crossed. Who knows? With all this shit going on.
It's gonna be well, and that's the thing too. Like, how do you enforce social distancing? Because you can't make it like every other seat, and then like people are coming together, so like you don't need to make them sit.
Well, they were talking about. I don't know if you saw the announcements that AMC was going to be opening up their theaters and Regal was going to be opening up their theaters. One was going to open up on July 10th. Another was going to open up July 15th.
Yeah.
Then there was this whole big controversy because AMC
masks,
was like, you know what? We're not going to enforce masks. Wear your mask if you want to.
We are going
and everybody was like, fuck you. We're not coming down. And, which I can go either way on the whole mask thing.
Same. I'm very both with it. I don't honestly. I would feel more like I'm not going to sit within a foot of someone else for an hour and a half and they're not wearing a mask. Because it's not that like I'm not super afraid of getting the coronavirus. I actually, I'm honestly pretty sure I already had it when I was super sick in quarantine for those 2 weeks. So like, I'm pretty sure, we were probably dying. But
I'm
like,
sure I had it back in January. When I was super sick.
But like, I'm loving the social distancing because I
would love it.
don't like people near me as it is because people are gross and they're always picking their nose and coughing into their hands, thinking that they're covering their mouths appropriately. And just like, and the fact that we had to go through an entire like, no, this is how you wash your hands to a bunch of adults when this started.
Yeah,
I'm good with the mask. So when you're telling me like there's a global pandemic, we're still not 100% sure where we are with it. And this asshole wants to sit next to you, rub his face all day and then not wear a mask. Not cool with it. Yeah. So I totally get why people bugged out. Granted,
I get it.
I'm not a bug out kind of person when it comes to those things. I'm like, I just won't go.
Yeah.
It's not that big. It's not going to kill me.
Yes.
So like, I don't carry out hard for shit like that. So
because there were so many people bugging out, both AMC and Regals were like, we're going to loosen up on the masks. And then they reversed it and they're like, all right, everybody's got
Regal did too. I saw AMC did. I didn't.
They both did.
Oh, I didn't see
They
Regal
both
did.
Yeah.
Good.
Because, they want people to come to the theaters. And I miss my fucking theater experience. I want to go, fuck it. I'll wear a fucking mask. I don't care. But I need to go to the movies because, the drive-ins have opened. And I've been going to the drive-ins almost every weekend now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been meaning to. I want to start going. Yeah. How is it?
It's actually, it's not bad. They got all the social distancing shit and they got all the protocols in place. It's kind of shitty that they only allow one person in the bathroom at the time, which is fine. And in the concessions, they only allow 10 people in. You got to wear your mask when you're going to either place, which is fine. But then you're in your car for most of it. The cars are 6 feet apart. Like, honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I went the first time. What did I go see? Oh, I saw a screening of The Breakfast Club. That was cool.
I love that.
Then because they were playing The Breakfast Club, they were playing The Invisible Man, which I've already saw.
Yeah.
And they were playing Bloodshot, that stupid movie with Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah.
So the one week I went and saw Breakfast Club. The next week I went and saw Bloodshot. It was a terrible movie, but I didn't give a fuck because I wanted to go to the movies anyways.
Of course, yeah.
And then oh shit, that's another movie. The next week they showed. Have you seen the trailer for the movie Becky?
I have. How was it?
That was a good movie.
Was it?
That was a good movie. Yeah.
All right, I'll have
to
check
played
that
it. They
one
played
out.
it at the drive-in. I don't know if it's still there, but it was playing before. Basically, it's like fucking a horror version of Home Alone.
Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe I got.
And Kevin James is a fucking criminal.
See that
a
part.
Racist skinhead.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I struggle with that.
Listen, he did the part.
I think Kevin James is a great actor.
He's good. He's good. That surprised me.
I've always loved him.
That shit surprised me. And it was funny because when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, he looks like me because he's bald and he has a big beard and all that. And of course, he has a swastika tattooed on the back of his head. I was like, that's not me.
Not like you.
But not like me.
Be a little funny if you had one.
Maybe.
Of all people.
How funny would that be?
It's like there's a brown man with a swastika.
There's a brown man with a swastika.
We're
goose-stepping down the street.
We're all very confused.
Yeah. What's going on here? Does he hate himself?
I don't, It's like a self-loathing thing.
Does he just date blonde hair, blue-eyed chicks?
Yes.
Yeah. But, wow. but he was, like the movie was gorier than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah. Because I went in not expecting like there's a scene, spoilers just real quick, where Kevin James cuts off his own eye. Cuts out like
his
eye. Becky ends up like scooping his eye out.
Oh, nice.
Like taking his eye out, and his eye's just hanging there.
Oh,
so he gets like a kitchen knife and he cuts the fucking the vein that's connecting his eye to his head in the kitchen. It's fucked up. And if you're like
I wish you guys could see my face right now.
It's good. It was good.
Because that's all I have. I have so many things to say, and wow, I want to see that.
It was good. And it like this Becky chick like fucking kills everybody like in all these fucking crazy ways. Like she kills one dude with a ruler, another one with a fucking bunch of pencils. Like
I love a strong female lead.
Yeah,
all about that.
It's good. And and well, I mean, you're kind of into wrestling. You remember the wrestler that Kurgan? He went under Kurgan. in like the 90s. He was part of the Oddities. He was a big dude.
I'm not even sure who my friends are in wrestling right now, let alone people who wrestled
Fair enough.
in the 90s.
Fair enough. Well, he's a former wrestler. He's in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he's like this big fucking dude. And he has like a little arc in the movie. It was surprisingly good.
All right, I'll check it out.
Like I went in not with high hopes. I was like, the movie looks decent based on the trailer, and I was pleasantly surprised afterwards. I was like, all right, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. So that's it. That's all we got for news. And like I said, next week it's gonna be Drew's news.
Drew's news.
Drew's news. All right, so we're gonna get and dive into apocalyptic horror.
I don't know, you're doing fine with it. I don't understand why you're.
I don't know, man.
Why you're being all
weird about it, because sometimes another cheap plug for Geeks. See, I can. There it is. With Geeks That Lift, every episode I fuck something up. I either stutter, or I say it too fast, or my brain is, I'm at a loss for words. That I don't know, but it always happens. So every time I say apocalyptic horror, see, I even got to slow it down when I say it, so I say it right. So that way I enunciate. Once upon a time when I was a kid, I couldn't say cinnamon.
That checks.
You know how I used to say it?
You say cinnamon?
Close. Cinnamon.
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 Yeah, oh my God, I just pictured, but it's so funny because like I'm picturing you but little, so like I'm picturing you bearded, tattooed, but small, going cinnamon. Cinnamon.
Pat, could you make that? Could you make that for the thumbnail, or just
can it just be like
little baby Eugene? Yeah. So it's me with my face and my beard and everything, but just smaller.
Yeah, just
with
small.
a diaper.
Yes.
With fat arms and fat legs.
Fat arms, little tiny legs.
Like the Gerber baby, but with a beard.
Thanks. I'm already uncomfortable by that.
I'm already uncomfortable when you said it.
I'm very excited for this.
All right, let's get into it. What do you got?
All right. Well, I wanted to start us off with something a little off.
Okay.
It is the Medal of Man, which is the 10th episode of season 3 of Ash versus Evil Dead. So it is the final episode of the series, really. So I kind of took that one, obviously very apocalyptic. World Deadites are taking over, world's pretty much ending. So I don't really know how. Obviously I know you watched the series. Yes. I don't know anybody who's watching this or listening to this. If you haven't, why? Out of curiosity, you're obviously a horror fan.
No clue.
It's on Netflix. You have zero excuses. So, definitely watch that. But so the final episode is kind of where everything goes to a head in the in the Ash versus the entire really Evil Dead saga with Ash versus the Deadites. So everything finally, it's present day. Everything happened before and it's happening now. So like. Ash pretty much it's his duty to finally become the chosen one and accept his fate, and it's such a good episode, and it breaks my heart that it's the last one.
I know,
because
it sucks.
So for those who are familiar, Kelly, obviously they're having trouble bringing her back from the dead. They're able to bring his daughter back, so they're just trying to figure out how to get Kelly back from through the portal and everything. And so, meanwhile, the entire city is being taken over by Deadites, and it's so good, and it's so Evil Dead because there's just fluids everywhere. Yep. And it's just like the fun colors that like they do with it. It's so. I think that probably my favorite thing about the show is just every episode is just like watching Evil Dead again.
It is. It is. Every episode is like a mini movie.
It is. And it's, you give a shit about the characters. It's not like, before you do in the movies, but at the same time, it's all Ash pretty much. Whereas like for here, you give a shit about Kelly and Pedro and his daughter and everything. Well, his daughter, they kind of tossed her in, but like could have done without, but didn't take away from the series pretty much. So I was okay with it.
I liked it when they had Lee Majors on as his dad.
Oh my God, that was so
awesome.
Good. That casting
was spot on.
Phenomenal.
I don't know who the fuck. It's weird how like sometimes when TV shows or movies cast certain characters, like it's people that you would have never even thought of. Like, who the fuck came up with You know, let's see, who can we cast as Ash's dad? The Bionic Man.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like weird, but it was perfect.
It worked so well.
Oh, it was so good.
It was
so good.
Heartbreaking when that ended, but yeah, it's so good. And then so like, you know, they finally get Kelly back, who is decomposing at this point. And like, so then it's this whole like trying to get Ash to face this giant fucking demon that's like taking over the city. Like the military is going after it, but of course, you know, the trope, they just keep making it stronger because they keep attacking it, and he knows what he has to do with the dagger. So it's just like spending time trying to get Ash to realize that this is what he is supposed to do as the chosen one that he keeps calling himself this entire time. And his daughter's finally the one that's like, dude, get the fuck out there, pretty much. Like really gave him the oomph. But oh my god, that final scene when they're getting, I bawled like a baby.
I got a little misty eyed.
Oh my god, I was sobbing because it just like I'm 30 years old. Like I was not born when this movie came out, but I grew up with it. Like it was just something that like, it wasn't even something my parents knew. It was like, we randomly rented it from Blockbuster once. And from then on, like, oh my God. Yeah. I was little. It was single digits for sure. I couldn't have been more than like Jesus 7 or Christ. 8.
Wow.
I was real young when I first saw it. And it just obviously it stuck with me given who I am as a person. But like, it was just just seeing that when he's putting everybody in the car and he's like getting everyone to go so he can go take it alone. It's just like, it's so Evil Dead. It's just very, I bawled. It's so I cannot begin to explain how much I cried watching this, because it feels like you're seeing 30 almost 40 years of shit. Just this is it. This is the final scene of what they're going to be dealing with. So, you know, he does it. He gets in the tank and he loads up the dagger onto it and he's ready to go. And that, oh my God, that entire, when he's going for it, it's just, you get his little one-liners and his quips and just that entire Ash persona. Like it just, they go all out. They give you this entire, like, this is what you, and that's like what we were saying before about giving it, you know, people who are making this new stuff that actually give a fuck and give a fuck about the fans.
Respect
respect
the material.
Exactly. So they're just like, here's everything you love about Evil Dead. We have Ash being Ash, who is like horror personified.
Oh yeah.
You have the blood and the gore and the, you know, the Kandarian demons and the dagger, and everything is right here. And Ash does something selfless and gets everyone out of there for once. And it's just like, I mean, he's been doing it this whole time, but now it's like his official moment to be like, this is all me. And oh my God. And then he finally does it. And then they fucking Army of Darkness us, that alternate ending. Like it's just, you want that season 4 so
I know. And I don't understand, like, what happened. Why did Stars, it was on Stars, right?
It was Stars.
Why did Stars cancel it? Were not enough people watching it?
They said that according to them, they didn't have enough viewers, which is a shame, because most, like, I guess they lost a fuck ton of subscription, because all the horror fans, who else would subscribe to Stars for any other reason?
Yeah.
Like, no. Yeah. So yeah, Stars is the one that gave it to us, and people bought it. But I mean, I am definitely guilty of streaming it. I don't own Stars. So like I was definitely a streamer, but sorry.
It's still on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So that's why I'm like, I fucking wish that someone else would pick it up. But again,
Bruce Campbell retired. He's done with it.
Well, you said it before.
I know. Actually, there was a thing where they were talking to, I read an article where they were talking to the two other stars, the Pedro and the other chick,
Kelly.
and they seem to think that they can talk Bruce Campbell into coming back.
He totally can. He loves it. Like, Bruce Campbell is Ash Williams.
Yeah.
Like, they are one and the same. He is like, I mean, everything else he's done, and you know, all the movies he's done, every other acting gig and everything like that, like, he is Bruce Campbell. He's a different character. Like, he can act and he can kind of get rid of that, but it's his personality. That's him. Like,
it is his personality. Yeah.
Ash Williams was Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
It worked so well because and he evolved with it. Yeah. And like, the more he changed, he took the character with it. Like, he took it from, you know, the first movie was serious. Like it wasn't camp. I mean, it had its moments, but for the most part, it was it's still banned in so many countries. Like it's a scary movie. And then they took the second one, and then that's when they threw in all the camp, and he rolled with it. And then he took that, and that's just been him. Like it just, I could gush forever.
That's right. That's funny. But the first movie in the series that I ever saw was Evil Dead 2.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too funny.
I don't know why I never saw the first one, or maybe I saw parts of the first one and I wasn't interested or whatever. And I remember my first exposure to Evil Dead 2 is I actually rented it in the video store. I don't know if it was West Coast Video or one of the video stores that I used to go to. And the thing that drew me to it was the box art, the skull with the human eyes looking at you. And it was Dead by Dawn, right?
Yep.
That was So I got this. I was like, what the fuck is this? Or whatever. And I watched it and I loved it. Loved it. So I saw it was Evil Dead 2, rented Evil Dead 1 maybe like a week or two later. And I don't know why. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is the same movie.
Yeah.
But a lower budgeted version of the movie. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't understand it. But I appreciate both of them now. I still like, though, part 2 better than part 1.
I flip-flop.
I'm one of those. Do you?
I do. I honestly do. Like I go back and forth because they're the same movie, but it's just, what mood are you in?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, if I'm feeling campy, I'm chilling, or if I want to show it to other people, I would probably show them. Again, it would depend on the crowd. Like if we're all chilling and having fun, I'd definitely show them 2. But if it's like people who like want to be scared and serious, I'd show them 1. Like it's just, I flip flop between the 2. I do.
All right.
The only, I will say, like, obviously I love Army of Darkness. I don't think it's the strongest out of all of them, obviously, by any means. But like I actually recently, because my niece is she's getting into, I mean, she's only 5, so I have to watch what we show her.
Yeah.
But I suggested, because she like wanted to see scary stuff, and actually we were showing her stuff on the phone, and it was like Jason Voorhees and stuff. She's like, and she's very honest, where she's just like, I don't like this, turn it off right now. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, we'll try Ash versus Evil Ash. She was rolling, like, and that's that like camp thing where I'm just like, he has this character and he's fighting himself, and he's so good at it, and he, you know, all the other little characters he's playing too, like that entire scene, watching a 5-year-old watch it was one of the coolest things. It was just like, I mean, obviously it brings you back, because like as a kid I loved all that stuff too, so like, but just I don't know, passing that on was just like my heart real quick. It was that love for Evil Dead. And
that's awesome. But Army of Darkness is pretty much, I mean, it could be considered like a horror comedy. I mean, the whole, I mean, it's got the best one-liners ever.
Oh my God.
And it's
the
totally
concept
quotable.
of horror is a little bit lost on that. I mean, that first scene with the witch things in the dungeon, those things were scary.
Yeah.
Oh, those monsters, like, I was like, we're not watching that part when I was showing her, because that one was.
But I remember, I think, what was I? Was I senior in high school when it came out?
Oh God.
I think so. I think it went out. Yeah, I am. Telling you, man, $3 Tuesdays, senior citizen discount, a few years away. But yeah, I mean, I remember seeing it, and I remember I was like, Army of Darkness. I was like, does this have to do with the Evil Dead movies? I was like, the same character, and I wasn't sure. And I saw it, and I was like, all right, now I know why they called it Army of Darkness. Although there were some theaters that I noticed that were worried if people didn't know that Army of Darkness was part of the Evil Dead universe.
They'd be like,
they actually put on the matinee on the marquee Evil Dead 3.
Did they?
And so even though it was never called Evil Dead 3, it was always
just
Army of Darkness.
Clarify, like, this is part of the series.
And even though in the title sequence at the beginning with the smoke and everything, it's Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness. Yep. Like, it was a little confusing, but I liked it. I fucking loved it. I remember when I went to one of the Fangoria Weekend of Horrors, again showing my fucking age, and they were coming out with the movie, and they had all this promotional shit for Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
And I had these I had like 3 different t-shirts. I had bumper stickers. I had all sorts of shit. And I got rid of all of them. Because I wore the t-shirts to death. Like, the t-shirts just disintegrated because I wore them so much.
Yeah.
And oh my God, they'd be worth a pretty penny right now.
Probably.
But yeah, fucking, you know, I lament so much the fucking Ash versus Evil Dead that they canceled it, and then they're not going to make anymore. Because for me, and I think we've talked about it a few times on the show, like that was a damn near perfect show, especially for fans of the Evil Dead movies.
I honestly I can't think of a single gripe I had with it.
I didn't have any gripes.
I had none. I loved all of the characters. I love every turn they took. Even like the stuff with like Pedro and like the Bruja stuff. Like normally I would be very annoyed with how much they gave to a side character.
Yeah.
I like, you know, when other shows do that, other episodes, I'm like, oh yeah, you got to give them their comeuppance, like whatever. But it was so good.
Yeah.
That entire episode was just everything. But I mean, I always us on to Evil Dead tangents, and I'm sorry, everybody, but also I'm not sorry because it's totally worth it.
Sorry, it's awesome.
I know.
What the fuck?
There's a reason it's a favorite.
Now let's talk about the fucking guy that plays Pedro. All the things that he was in before, he was never in shape.
Oh my God, he got
what in the
so
fuck?
jacked.
It seemed like the one season he took off his shirt. All right, he was in really good shape. He was in pretty good shape.
But then
the next season, he was jacked.
It was serious. He must have been like, you know what? I could look better, and then just fucking worked.
Yeah,
he worked.
God damn, just looking for that sweet Evil Dead poontang. I guess
I would hit all day.
Listen, like, that goofy mustache and that Kramer hair took nothing away.
Nope. Because when he's
from
just like,
how in good a shape
when he's taking the shirt off and like the passages from the book are being carved into him and he's like flexing everything. I'm like, this is doing a lot for me right now. Like a lot. It's just very like I was totally okay with it.
Yeah. It surprised the shit out of me, actually. You know,
yeah, I was just sitting there.
Made
I was
me
like,
move a little. Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. But he had the right idea, though. I mean, he doesn't know if he was going to be in another show or another thing or whatever. So, if he's going to be shirtless, might as well be jacked.
Yeah.
Might as well be jacked.
Yep. I have no complaints.
I know. So with the apocalyptic horror, there were so many movies that we could have talked about, or I could have talked about, or I could have picked.
Oh God, yeah.
I only picked one, and this is an old movie, and this movie has been talked to death on a bunch of other shows and other things, but it's a movie that I like a lot. And it's funny because some people might fight me on this. I think it was the best movie of the series. I was just going to talk about Day of the Dead. I was
totally gonna do that one.
Shit.
So I was gonna do Day or Dawn, and then I was like,
girl,
Day.
We are totally on the same wavelength.
Like, today,
holy shit,
we're sharing a fucking brain tonight.
Holy fuck,
Can
man.
we just?
That's awesome.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you did this. Okay, go on.
Good,
do your thing.
So, Day of the Dead is the third movie in the Dead franchise.
Yes.
Can it be called a franchise? Romero's Dead movies. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just one of those. It's one of the movies. Like, obviously, everybody. Some people are split. Some people talk about Night of the Living Dead. That's the classic. And I mean, to me, all the movies, actually, the original trilogy, are to me untouchable. Those are classics. Then we came out with Land of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. And they were okay, but they weren't as good as the original three movies.
There was a time. It was like the late 2000s where zombies were everywhere, and I got kind of bored with it because like it was just too much in it, like because I loved Night of the Living Dead, I loved Day of the Dead, I loved Dawn of the Dead, like growing up, and then like it got to a point where my boyfriend and I at the time, like we'd go and we'd rent a movie, and it was just like there was always a new of the Dead. There was everything. Diary of the Dead at one point. Like it was just so much. But you're absolutely right. Like the original three are untouchable. And as far as any sort of apocalypse goes, like Romero first.
Yes.
Romero, he had down exactly what kind of apocalypse it was going to be and how society would handle it.
Yep. And it wasn't more like, I mean, Dawn of the Dead is the one that's considered the classic. That's the one that's most people talk about. And it was like, it had the underlying social commentary on consumerism and all that other stuff. But for some reason, Day of the Dead just hit me because Day of the Dead kind of showed you and talked about how people would really act and literally go against themselves and each other if the shit were to hit the fan. Like that's the part that fucking got me. Like with, you know, was it a Colonel Rhodes? He was the colonel. Like it just the way he reacted, and he became pretty much like a dictator, and was like, it's my way or the highway, I'm gonna kill you. And just the way everybody was reacting to each other in the bunker, and it's just seeing how we don't talk about like in these times and shit with racism. In the apocalypse, there was fucking racism. Holy shit, man! You had the dude, the Jamaican. Was he Jamaican? The helicopter guy.
I think they kind of made him Jamaican.
Yeah, he was kind of Jamaican. Like, you know, the fucking the people. Actually, Greg Nicotero was in that movie.
I believe so.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the soldiers.
Yes.
Because he had the long hair. But they had you know, they
Johnson.
had yes. And then they had, who was the Hispanic guy? The one that kept having the fucking nervous breakdowns.
Shit. Where is
But they had the, you know, the Hispanic dude.
my phone is
in
too
there,
slow for this right now.
they had, you know, him, and then they kept making fun of him and giving him shit. And you know, what was it? The one person called him yellow, and he was like, that's it's Jello. That's how Spics say yellow, Jello. Like, I was like, what the fuck? It wasn't until years later.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, these guys are racist as fuck.
But it's so like, it's true though, because like that shit wouldn't go away just because there's an apocalypse.
I know, and that always fucking blew my mind.
It's always like with the, you know, the white guys that take over. There will never, like, racism will never die.
Yeah,
and it's because of people like that. But it's so true. Like, I love that they carried that into the apocalypse, because again, there's no way everyone would be like, you know what? We just got to work together. Like, no, everyone's going to argue. Everyone's going to think they're right. And it's all going to be chaos. And they're going to take their own insecurities and keep projecting them onto everyone else, because it's perfect.
There was racism. There was sexism in there. You know, the chick, the one female, there was only one female there, huh?
It was. The
doctor, Sarah.
Yep.
And you know, they were always making fun of her, giving her shit because she was a woman. You know, and because she was with the Hispanic guy. What the fuck was the Hispanic guy's name? Miguel. There it is.
Of course it was Miguel. Oh, of course. Just pulled up.
Yeah, there you go. It was
DeLeo
like
Jr.
Miguel, and then they were making fun of her because she was sleeping with him, and you know, he was a crackpot, and he was he was constantly having nervous breakdowns. And, you know, they were like, well, let's knock him out. Maybe, you know, Rhodes says something. Yeah, give us all a chance for some loving or some shit like that. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, there was Night of the Living Dead. Social commentary was obviously with the times, what was going on.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead was consumerism. Was a commentary on consumerism. Did they ever say what Day of the Dead, what the social commentary was on that?
Not that I have like outwardly heard. Like, I mean, people have talked about it before, but I've never actually had them be like, well, no, we were just trying to discuss like this.
Yeah. Like I wasn't sure if Romero said anything about it or
it wasn't, because it alluded
to.
There was a lot, and you could obviously pick up then the fact that it was more than just like zombie apocalypse, but like there was a lot more in it with like I feel like this one was more heavy with like the interpersonal relationships. I feel like between, because like obviously all of them have that, because it's usually a small group against zombies. Like we have that, but I feel like this one, especially with the way that they all interacted, was more like, and at this point too, like it's not just, okay, we're stuck in here, like, because all the other ones just like, we're stuck in here, we just need to figure out how to get out. Like this one is just like, we're existing this way, kind of. And it's kind of, and you know, actually kind of going from that, it's funny because you look at 28 Days Later, and they kind of did the same thing where it's like these people are trying to get away out, and then when they get to that military base, it's the worst of the worst. Like that's it. It's just, this is how they kind of took a page from that book. They're like, yeah, no, it's not sunshines and butterflies where you think that, you know, we're saved. It's these girls are about to get raped. Like, it's just, they all
people in position of authority and abusing it.
And that's exactly what this did too. It was just very, it definitely had a lot of that. So I mean, I guess that could be kind of some of it where it's just, you know,
it could be.
Yeah, definitely just the power of authority, really. And
that could be it. I mean, because the military, from what I got from the movie is the military officers were there in like a secondary role just to protect the doctors and make sure to watch over them, to make sure that, you know, they got everything that they needed.
Yeah.
So they can keep doing their experiments and try to find a cure for the zombie outbreak. But then once everything got dire, the power turned from the doctors and the scientists having it to the military having it. And then it was just, it's our way or the highway, no matter what.
Which,
yeah.
Kind of relevant.
Kind of relevant.
Right
now.
Don't
but
you
yeah,
think?
Yeah. So watch Day of the Dead, guys, and you'll get a lesson taught.
And I feel like that is true. Like, out of all of the zombie movies that I got so sick of, like, I can always revert back to any of like the OG of the Deads and be able to sit there and watch them and enjoy them. Like, and go out of my way to watch them. And like, oh my God, most of those zombie movies, I was just so over them for a point.
Yeah, well, yeah, the newer ones, the ones that came afterwards, yeah.
My rib piece was actually, before it was Pumpkinhead, it was supposed to be a zombie.
Really?
I was going to get a zombie before I got
any specific zombie or just?
No, I really, what was the one? It wasn't the one from The Walking Dead. I did like her, like the really famous one, like the one that was on the ground and she's like all done, but
the bicycle zombie?
Yeah, but it was 2008. And I forget what it was. It wasn't a particularly good movie. There was just one zombie I really liked. I don't know. It wasn't important. But yeah, that was what I was literally, that was going to be my rib piece was going to be a zombie. And then obviously I've since changed it, but I've switched over. I'm Pumpkinhead now, but yeah.
Well, that's all right. It's a revenge demon.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
When zombies were a thing, that was my jam. I was like, fuck yeah, I love zombies. And I got real, because I was actually like, probably, I mean, I loved my Full Moon and stuff like that, but I loved zombie movies as a kid. Like, and it definitely, like, I mean, we've talked about it before, Savini's Night of the Living Dead is my fucking jam.
Yeah, so good.
And so, like,
so good.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And so, like, I always loved zombie movies as a kid. And but God, I got so tired of them. But yeah, Day of the Dead, even again, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, those ones I can always, the first time I met Ken Foree.
Oh, you met Ken Foree?
Oh my God, I met him. And
is he super tall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a particularly tall person, so.
But still, even seeing him in Dawn of the Dead, he towers over everybody in that movie.
Yeah, he was pretty tall, and oh my God, yeah, I was in Pittsburgh in 2011.
Yeah.
And it was like when Mike and I first started seeing each other, and he took me, and I was just like, I've never fangirled over anyone before.
No
and
shit.
That's when I like discovered my love of cons and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, I had like met celebrities and stuff before, but I never was like, hi, how are you? Like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I met Ken Foree at a
just starstruck.
And I was like, oh my,
that's awesome.
God, I just want to say how much I love Dawn of the Dead. Like I was so stupid. It was so embarrassing. And then I met Linnea Quigley that night too. And I was just, that was it.
Linnea.
I know. Love her.
Aww. You know what? I kind of felt that way, kind of. And then, because you were there. Was it last year or the year before? A couple of years ago when I met Tom Atkins.
Yep.
Like I was like fangirling.
You gotta be cool about it.
Then I wanted to punch him.
Yeah. Fair.
Fuckface. I still like his movies. I still like him. He's actually, I've just found out they're coming out with, have you ever seen any of the Collector movies?
Yes.
They had the Collector and then they had the Collection.
Yeah.
Well, they're coming out with a third movie. The Collected, which is the third movie in the trilogy. Yeah. So the original guy from the first two movies, he's back. I forgot his name. But Tom Atkins is in it. I just read.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that'll be a good one.
We'll see. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, I hope, this time, if I ever meet Tom Atkins again, I'll be by myself.
I'll be with you. We'll hang out with Tom
but
Atkins.
Still,
he's
still going to take attention away from me
true.
And just lavish you with it.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
I know you are.
Oh my God.
With Day of the Dead, one of the things that I liked also about Day of the Dead, this was the goriest out of out of all the Dead movies.
I would say all of them.
Fucking the scene with actually when Rhodes gets fucking ripped apart.
Oh yeah.
Choke on it. That the one scene that even now to this day, I was like, Jesus Christ, how'd they do that? Was the fucking little dude, the one who's always, when he got torn apart and he ripped his head off. And while he was screaming, and you hear the scream go from and then the fingers goes in his eyes, and they're fucking ripping him apart.
They did. They went hard
shit.
on that one.
And the zombie too, the one where when Sarah went into Frankenstein's fucking lab, and the one zombie fucking got out of the restraint, and he turns around and his guts start spilling out his stomach. Like that shit. It didn't traumatize me or scar me as a kid, but that shit left an imprint on me.
You don't forget
where I was
that.
like, how the fuck did they do that? Like, that was still, I mean, when I saw it, it was still, when did it come out? It came out in 85. So I was 11 years old when I saw it. So it was just, I still thought that shit was real.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't figure out how the fuck they did that makeup wise.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's
now,
so good.
It was Savini who did the makeup for that, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, and then fucking Frankenstein goes to him and takes a drill and fucking drills him in the middle of the head. Like just that shit. Man, the practical effects were even the fucking in the very beginning with Miguel with the hello and the fucking the tongue zombie. Like
that one was good.
Man. That was so good. It was so good. That's why like this movie. Oh, I love the other scene when they're in the cave and they're like fighting for their lives, and then they take the fucking shovel and they fucking rip the zombie's half his head off, and you see the half his head and his eyes are just going back and forth. Fuck, man, so like all the effects on this. Oh,
it is, and like that's kind of the thing too about like being a kid and being into horror, because like I mean I was 90s, but like watching all that was all practical, so that's what I grew up with. And I feel so bad for the kids who don't. Like it's
just nothing beats practical.
And nothing, it doesn't.
CGI is shit. No movie should ever be, much less horror movies, should ever be 100% CGI.
Nope.
Like you can throw practical and CGI.
You can mix it, a little bit when you have to neaten something up.
Yes.
But like if you're Mortal Kombat Annihilation relying on fucking CGI, you're gonna have a bad time. Spawn. Yeah. Oh my god.
I was watching that again a few weeks ago.
I love that one. Yeah. It's a guilty pleasure.
God, such a guilty pleasure.
It's so bad, but it's so John Leguizamo in that
movie.
He
made the character. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But like a perfect use of like the practical effects was the movie that we talked about before everything happened, The Furies.
Yes.
The scene with the fucking axe and the face.
Oh, when he's just peeling.
Like just that shit. Oh man.
So good. Like
it's so good.
Because I like watching stuff and being bothered. Bother me. Yep. That's what I want. I'm not watching a horror movie to be afraid anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I'm cool with that. It's I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, but is it scary? I don't fucking care. I'm not expecting to be traumatized. I want to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
Make me feel uncomfortable.
Yes, that's it. And listen, and that's what I said before. And I've talked about it like with you, and I've talked about it with other guests on the show. Like with horror movies, I don't get scared with horror movies anymore. So that's
not an impressive thing. That's not a brag. We're not like
that's no brag.
I
wish that I can get scared. Like, the normies out there that watch a horror movie, they'll watch Honey, a Hill House or something like that. And
a dick.
And they're like, oh, it was so scary. I couldn't sleep for days. I envy you. I envy you because I don't. I look at it, I'm like, oh, that was dumb.
Even
like,
as a kid, there wasn't any movie that like I couldn't fall asleep at night because of it. Yeah, I used to complain because my little sister and I would share a room and she was afraid. So my mom would leave the light on, but my mom would have to like put something over the lamp so it could be dark enough for me, but light enough for her.
You need separate rooms.
I know, but I'm like, first off, I need complete darkness and silence. And two, I'm not afraid. Yeah. Like it's not, I love a good scare while I'm watching a movie and I will appreciate a good jump.
Yes.
I'll appreciate a good jump scare.
I'm all about a jump scare. I'm all about a jump. I just recently watched. Yeah. Even though I saw it coming, to me, one of the greatest jump scares ever was Exorcist 3.
Oh, that one's good.
That fucked me up when I saw it in the theaters.
I feel like it's underrated.
It is underrated,
it's
and I can see why
a little bit more. Like you see,
little by little, people are appreciating it more.
Talking about it,
but I remember when it first came out. Like when it first came out, I watched it, and I remember I was like, "This movie was boring as fuck."
Yeah.
If it wasn't, there was 3 key scenes that I liked in the movie that I was like, all right. But I never watched it again until years and years later.
Of course.
3 key scenes was that jump scare, which fucked me up. The scene where I forgot who it was using that same like scissor thing, and the grandmother grabbed the fucking chick's hair, and you see it like just narrowly missing her neck. That part, and the final, the exorcist scene, the exorcism scene at the end, which I read later that the producers of the movie, or the studio, they weren't happy with the cut of the movie, the original cut of the movie, because it was called The Exorcist and there was no exorcism scene at all originally.
Really?
So they fucking shoehorned that exorcism scene in there just so they can justify it, calling it The Exorcist.
Okay, but that was something they tossed in later. That scene was,
they tossed it in way later.
Holy, that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
Because if you notice, like it seems like it and I didn't notice it till later. Because I love that scene. When I originally saw it, but if you watch it, you'll see how it doesn't really match up to the rest of the movie. Like it just seems like out of the blue it happens, and then this random priest shows up, and then they start playing the original Exorcist music, and I'm like, oh shit. I mean, it was a cool fucking scene. I loved it, but it's weird how like they shoehorned that in there later. Afterwards.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that makes sense. And actually, because like I've put on The Exorcist 3 a few times before bed, but I always do it to fall asleep, so I never get to that scene anymore anyway. So I will definitely have to.
Movie,
I will definitely have to make a point to stay up for that and see, kind of check it now that I know. That's too funny.
There's some cool shit that I appreciated because they showed it at the last drive-in. But I didn't watch that episode of The Last Drive-In yet, but I watched The Exorcist 3 on Shudder because I just wanted to watch the movie without any of the commentary or anything. And I mean, it's a slow burn. It's definitely a slow burn movie. I've always appreciated George C. Scott as an actor, but in this movie, man, he was good. He was so good. Just the one scene where they're trying to where he's trying to convince like the doctors and everybody else that this is the same killer from back in the day, and the one scene where they're all arguing back and forth that he loses it. He's like, stop it, and he starts crying. I'm like, God damn, man,
so good.
Oh man, I wish I had those acting chops. And you can see why he's like an iconic actor. But then there's other scenes when he went to like visit the priest and just the little things like you hear the wind move and you're hearing these sounds. And he goes out to look and he sees like shit moving around, and then the priest secretary like jump scares him and he's like, what the fuck?
I know.
Just all those little like nuances in the movie, like I didn't appreciate back then, but I totally appreciate now. And it was good. It was good. How do we get on The Exorcist?
I don't know.
Day of the Dead.
This is a weird tangent.
But that's fine,
honestly,
man. That's
it's mostly
fine.
my fault today, but
that's all right. That's all right. But that was good. So yeah, that was my movie, man. Day of the Dead. That's by far my favorite movie of all the Romero Dead movies.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a solid
It's definitely a fucking classic, and that's a movie that I can watch over and over and over again. You know what? I was thinking about it. PV hasn't shown any of the Dead movies for Terrors, right?
He showed Day of the Dead. Didn't he?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure we saw Day of the Dead at Terrors.
Really?
Yeah, because
did he?
I want to. Do you think it's 9:40? Do you think he's awake? I wonder.
Was it? I think you're right. I think we did see Day of the Dead on the big screen, but I'm not sure now.
Hang on.
And now you know all our fans that go to Terrors that are listening right now.
I know they're like,
yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, motherfucker. Yep. He just. Wow, that was the fastest fucking reply ever. Less than a minute. Day of the Dead.
You did?
So you're right.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah.
I thought so. I was like, I swear that it was.
Thanks, PV.
Thanks, PV.
Coming in
clutch.
That's what I'm talking about.
Love him.
But yeah, you know what? There we go.
Boom.
Justified. The best movie in the Dead movies we saw at Terrors.
Thursday Night Terrors, ladies and gentlemen.
But you know what? I think eventually, once he's shown all the movies that he wants to show, he needs to do like a greatest hits season.
Agreed.
And
because there's some that I want to go back. First off, I I want to see Fright Night because I didn't enjoy it enough the first time. I feel like I didn't get because it was the first one that we had gone to, so I didn't get the full like terrors experience. Yeah.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the first one that I gone to because my friend Mike Franco knew PV, and he's like, dude, my friend, he's doing like this thing at the Dibson Theater. I was like, whatever, yeah, sure, because I don't listen when people talk to me.
Yeah.
But then I saw Fright Night, and you know how I feel about Jerry Dandridge, and I was just like, okay, have to do this one. And we did. And I feel like because it was still so early that like it wasn't the same terrors. Like, do you feel that way? Like earlier terrors are so different than like
earlier terrors are different because not everybody knew each other. Not everybody, like we didn't have that. We weren't a family yet.
Yeah.
So
was Dead End there still? I feel like Dead End's been there, but they weren't. I don't know. I feel like they're more like active now with it.
Yeah, I mean they've been there for a while. I don't think they were there for the first couple of screenings.
No, yeah.
But then they started showing up. But yeah, the first few screenings at Terrace. I mean I'll even say most of the first season. It wasn't like off. Like we knew each other.
Yeah, but that's pretty. And there's like a few other people,
and there was
a
couple of random people that we kind of ancillary knew, kind of
like Marcus.
Yeah.
Lauren would go to them. We know Lauren.
Yep.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, from like the para horror and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it wasn't until I think it took like maybe like 5 or 6 screenings before finally we're like hey,
just like, oh, hey,
we were all
friend.
talking with each other and shit. Yeah, and I mean even like the first screening, because I remember I think the first screening was, what was it, Dead Alive?
Yes,
that was the very first screening.
It was.
Which
I did not go to that.
I didn't see that one.
Okay,
and because the way I started going to terrors was I saw a Facebook advertisement for, was it Demons or Demons 2? It was, no, Demons 2 is the one in the skyscraper, right? And Demons is the one in the movie theater.
Yes.
So I think it might have been Demons 2.
I forget which one he said.
Screened.
I didn't see.
It was one of the Demons movies.
Because the third one in that series was Fright Night, and that was the first one that I had gone to.
Okay. Wait a minute. What was it? Third one?
I thought it was third. It could be fourth. I could be wrong.
It could be. I mean, you could be right.
Because usually, when did he start it?
Man, it's going on 3.5, 4 years now.
I know. So, but did he start it in August or September of that year?
Oh, shit, fuck if I know.
Because he does it once a month, so it would be third if he did it in September, but it would be fourth if he did it in August.
I don't know, but I know
we got to go through it, look, everybody. We're sorry for hashing this out.
But there's just quite I know that. I know I started with the second movie that he showed.
Yeah,
and then it was. I like the way everything has gelled. Like we'll see what happens once the world goes back to normal. And
it'll be weird.
It is going to be weird.
A lot of changes.
It's a lot of fucking changes. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I don't know, man. I look forward to that shit. I used to look forward to that shit all the time.
I know, because it's not just like, it's cool you get to see a movie, but like most of the time it's a movie I've seen and I fall asleep through. I just want to see part of it on the big screen. I want to hang out with people and buy things that I don't need.
Erica normally gets anywhere from $80 to $200 from me every time.
Oh yeah,
I go there.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Erica. Yep. At Dead End Toys and Teas. Yes. Love you.
Love handing you our money.
But I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just that whole what's the word? I'm like, not sense of community, but
it is. It's a togetherness, that family of like it's just all.
It's like we're part of a club, like an exclusive club.
Yeah,
and we see each other once a month for like 6 months, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, and
then we take the summer off or whatever, and then we come back afterwards. So some people are closer than others, but there's a lot of people at Terrace that I don't see until Terrace.
Exactly.
But it's almost like high school.
It is
almost.
Yeah, it's like but it's the thing. It's like it's so funny because you find these people and you adore them, but I also don't see you outside of this. Like, it's just like I mean, obviously, like we've always hung out, but like other people that I don't often see, that I just people that I think are fucking great, but I still I'll see you and see when I see you.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny too because from there, like you guys still like knew people like in the scene.
Yes.
For me, you guys were the only ones that I knew that were like into it.
That's right.
Like before Terrors. Like it wasn't until Terrors that I was like, oh shit, there's more like us here.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God. It was just not that I didn't love you.
No,
guys,
of course.
But it was cool. And I like the fact that I ended up, I ended up fostering like a couple of friendships like out of it. Like you know, before the world went to hell, like me and PV went on a fucking mandate to go see The Lodge, which was terrible. But did you see it?
I hate that movie.
Why did you watch it? Didn't you see that we gave it a horrible review?
Yes, but I still needed to watch it myself.
That movie sucked balls.
So angry about that ending.
Yeah.
So angry.
Yeah.
Have you? That's another thing we'll have to discuss in future episodes. Have you watched the series Hannibal?
You know what? When it first aired, I watched. How many seasons were there? 4?
Not sure. I just started watching it on Netflix.
I think I watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay. Does it kind of fall off?
And then I fell off.
Okay.
But I heard that it got better.
Okay. Because I've been I just started season 1. I think I'm on episode like 4 now. Holy shit. I have so much I need to talk about. But
you know what? And it's funny too, because I got it on my queue when I saw that it dropped on Netflix. I was like, I got to revisit the show again, and I got to finish it. Because I think I might be wrong, but I think they get into either Manhunter or Silence of the Lambs towards the last couple of seasons.
Probably Silence of the Lambs, because a lot of it right now is very Manhunter-y. Like, in the first, like, because it has like the same character who plays like the FBI guy or whatever. So
Will Graham.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he is in that. So it's still a little bit like Mindhunter-y right now, but then. Or Mindhunter, wrong series. But so it must get, because obviously at some point they're gonna have to catch Dr. Lecter. Yeah. So like that's when it'll probably get Silence of the Lambs. But it's so good.
It was, I remember watching it. I think it was on NBC. That they were playing it, and I remember I was watching episodes. I was like, this shit, they're pushing the fucking envelope with this show.
I find it very hard to follow along with shows that aren't streaming, so I can't watch the next episode immediately.
I think that's why I fell off.
Yeah,
I think that's why I fell off.
Like when it comes
to week to week, it was just like
you can give me season by season. I'm good with that. I will catch right back up to the season 2 when it drops. If it's a weekly episode, I gotta wait. The only thing that I've been really good about that with is What We Do in the Shadows.
I fucking love that show.
Another thing we have to discuss.
We're gonna have to talk about that show. I fucking love it.
For now, I think we are way past my bedtime.
Oh shit,
that's okay.
All right, guys.
We were gabbing. Just a couple of gals.
Just a couple of gals gabbing over coffee.
Over coffee.
But I mean, you want to end it now, and then we'll just pick back up next week.
Fuck it.
This is good, man. I mean, we've been going. Let's see. Oh yeah. I think Pat's got enough to edit around. We got a great
like a half an hour. We're sitting here now.
We got a great intro story. Hopefully, you'll get to hear it.
So many pocket pussies
and splooging on the keyboard.
Oh yeah.
And
we're concerned with Pat's keyboards, but you'll hear more about that.
Yeah.
Or not.
That's it. Well, guys, thanks for listening in.
Yes.
If you guys have any grievance, actually, if you have any grievances, go fuck yourselves. Don't give us any grievances. No. But if you have any comments, any suggestions, or if you want just to shower us with praise, you can do it on
TerraTrioPodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us at Terra Podcast on Instagram as well as Facebook, and Terra Cast on Twitter.
Yes.
We also are on YouTube and streaming everywhere. And I don't know, Eugene and Pat offered me a large sum of money to do YouTube. I think that maybe that was.
Yeah, we're still negotiating.
We're still in negotiations.
But
I'm negotiating my contract.
Yes, because she's a big name here. Horror Delilah is huge in Buffalo.
Sorry. This made me laugh at myself. Okay.
So I am super excited. Oh my God, this feels so good.
This feels so good.
This is so good. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I was nervous. Like I was like, all right, this is the first time it's you and me in the studio.
It worked.
There's no third. It's just I was like, are we gonna have dead air? Is it gonna be awkward?
Only when we're looking for shit.
Only when we're looking for stuff. We're like, all right, dead air.
We need Pat
This
back.
is good. All right, guys. So this is it. I'm excited. She's excited. We're good to go. For Terror 51, I am Eugene with
Drew.
All right, guys. We love you.
Tolerate you. Bye.
Bye.